everyone, this is Vikas and this is my fourth tutorial on Python. Okay, in this tutorial we will learn about the concept of variables and data types in Python. Okay, so what are variables? Variables are nothing but reserve memory location to store values. This means that when you create a variable, you reserve some space in the memory. Based on the data type of a variable, the interpreter allocates memory and decides what can be stored in the reserve memory. Therefore, by assigning different data types to a variable, you can store integers, decimals, or character in these values. Okay. Now, uh, before knowing about the concept of variables, you will know the concept of data types. That means what are the data types supported by the Python. So you should know that Python support 5 basic data types, out of which first is numbers, second is strings, third is list, fourth is tuple, fifth is dictionary. Uh, Now, the first number data type has been further categorized as integers, floating point numbers, long and complex number. Now, what are integers? Any number which doesn't have a fractional part or a decimal part can be called as integer. So the numbers such as 1, 2, or any number, suppose 5, 4, 3, any number which doesn't have a decimal part or fractional part can be categorized under integer. Second is 1, floating point numbers. That means the number which have a decimal point or a fractional part can be called as a floating point number. Long, this category is the extension of the first one, that is the integer category, because it stores the value in the same fashion as that of integer, but only difference is that it stores large values. That means if you want to store large values, then your variable should be of long data type. Okay. Now fourth one is complex number. If you have somewhat idea about class 12 mathematics, then you may know what are these complex number. The number which is in form of a plus ib, such as 1 plus 2i, or 2 plus 3i, or 3 plus I, this type of number can be called as complex numbers. Okay. Now the second is string. Strings are nothing but a group of, okay. So what are characters? Its digits or symbol are called characters. Alphabet, that means varying from A to Z, capital or small, whatever, or digits and symbols such as plus, minus. All these are characters. And strings are nothing but a group of characters. So every word can be called as a character. For example, even the word Python can be called as a string, because Python also consists of a group of character P, Y, T, H, O, N. All these groups together to form the word Python. So every word can be called as a string. So if you want to store name of something, you make your variable as a string. Okay. Third is list. List are says in C and Java. The only difference between arrays of C and Java and list in Python is that we can only store one type of value in case of arrays in C or Java. Okay, but in case of Python, you can in case of Python list, you can store multiple type of value. For example, if I make or string values also into it, I can store floating point values also. I can store integer values also into it. Now let us come to the fourth one. Fourth one is a tuple. Okay. Now what is this tuple variable? Tuple data type, I mean. So tuple are similar to that of list. It works exactly in this same way as list. The, the differences are the common differences are that first you can only store constant values in tuple. That means once you store a value in tuple, you can't change it further at any point in your program if you want to do it, because if you will do so, the interpreter will show error. Okay. Now the second difference is that while 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 lists are stored under square brackets, tuples are enclosed within rounded bracket or parenthesis. Okay, so that is also a difference. Now I will show you another concept. Now let us come to the main concepts. Now in case of C and Java, you need to explicitly define the data type of variable. For example, in case of C or Java, I need to define a variable as int or floating point. For example, for storing an integer value in case of C or Java, I need to predefine a variable as an int. But in case of Python, you don't need to predefine it, because as depending upon the type of the data you are assigning to the variable, the Python will automatically define the data type of your variable. Okay, for example, if I will assign an integer value to a variable, the Python interpreter will automatically define that variable to be as an int variable. For example, in the first case, I am assigning an integer value, that is 1, to a variable 1. So in that case, Python interpreter will automatically define var1 as a integer variable. In the second case, I am assigning a floating point value to the variable, that is 2.0. So in that case, Python will assign, it will define variable 2 as a floating point variable. In third case, the Python will define str1 as a string variable. Okay, now let us come to the list. Now this is how the lists are defined. Look here, the value has been enclosed under a, oh sorry, a square bracket. It was meant to be, I made mistake. Look, they are looking similar to, aren't they looking similar to arrays in C and Java? Of course they are looking. So in this fashion you store the values separated by the commas. Okay, so in the first case I have stored a string, because this is a string as it is a group of character, and 2.0 is a floating point and 1 is integer. So here you can see multiple type of data are being stored in list. Okay, now let us come to the tuple. In tuple also multiple type of data are being stored, but they are enclosed under rounded bracket or parenthesis. Okay, and next thing is that their values can be modified at any point in the program. Okay, now let us come to the dictionary. Any data type of this form, any data type which is defined in this form, wait a minute, let me highlight it. Yeah, this form, sorry, not this, only this part, dictionary part. These are called this type of data structures are called dictionary. Okay, dictionary are somewhat common to has sets in programming languages like Perl and Ruby. Well, I don't have programming experience of Perl and Ruby, but still I know that I have come to know from some other sources that yeah, they resemble. The dictionary resembles to that of assets of Perl and Ruby. Now, up to that point, if you haven't understand completely the concept of um, data structures like list, tuples, and dictionary, you need not to worry, because in Python we learn about each data types separately. So in further tutorials, I'll make separate videos for them. Okay, then you will have better grab over the concept. Okay, now this all I was tutorial. In the next tutorial we will discuss about the concept of type conversion or typecasting. Thanks for watching, and if you like my video, please subscribe, please hit the like button and subscribe my channel, and also hit the bell button so that if I make new videos you will get the instant notification. Thanks for watching again.